You ready for my non-lethal round, Joe? Bye, 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 bye.
Enhanced rounds?
Non-lethal. I want this kid taken alive.
Oh my God! Welcome to our episode 6 season finale of Miss Marvel, in which 9mm and 5.56 and assault rifles and all manner of machine guns count as non-lethal ammunition.
Enhanced rounds?
Non-lethal. I want this kid taken alive.
This episode was not good, and you know, there was maybe one or two scenes that I enjoyed in it, and overall it felt so rushed, so meaningless, so like inconsequential. Just one of the worst villains so far in any Marvel series. These clandestines. And the DD, OC, whatever the fuck they're called, the damage control, just
fucking.
And that's
clowns.
that's it's like one extra episode that we didn't need, but we kind of needed it because the last one had nothing to do with Kamala and nothing was resolved. And then we guess we kind of get a resolution to Kamran's character and kind of Kamala, and then a confusingly filmed bumper at the end of the episode. Did you watch that, Alex? Alex saw it once before us. Me and Joe just finished seeing it. Alex, by the way, refused to come upstairs to watch it.
Once is enough.
Once was enough for him. He was downstairs playing Magic, and I wish that's what I was. I had done that as well. Because, damn, guys. This went from one of the most promising and unique and different and highlighting different cultures and let's do the fun Spider-Man kind of teen hero thing. And it was doing it well, and then it just lost its way. Boy, it went off the rails. And then gave us some of the worst villains, like I said before, and then a really weak resolution. That's my opinion. I can't believe we reviewed every single one of these. And honestly, if I wasn't Angry Joe and reviewing all the, the Marvel stuff, I would have stopped watching, And that's what it feels like. All this feels like extra content that I wouldn't have seen otherwise. What did you guys think?
This was super rushed. This honestly did not feel like a finale.
Yeah.
It just felt like a super filler or something.
Like the episode right before the finale.
Yeah, we just jumping into this episode. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Like, it just felt the editing was just all over the place. There's not really a character arc with Cameron. It just Cameron. There's no character arc. It's just like, okay, well, we're just gonna have you do this for this sake. And he's just doing stuff just because he's stupid.
The script presents it, and the script kind of falls apart. The otherwise somewhat strong writing is falling apart into tropes and characters just appearing just because they were written to be in that scene. They just happened to be there at that particular point. Like the worst of the worst, the tropiest of the tropey. It's like, come on.
Yeah, this was supposed to be like humorous or something, but nothing landed with me. It was boring.
Okay.
Yeah, this series started out, in my opinion, a pretty good spot, right? Like, it had a ton of flavor and a ton of charm, and there were some interesting characters and a ton of potential. But one of the things that we pointed out pretty early that I was pretty hard on it, was like, look, this is starting to feel a little young adult CW drama where things start making less sense. It's more about who she's got a crush on this week. And it just completely and totally devolved into exactly that. This is a child's TV show. This is federal agents, and I'm not talking FBI, I'm talking damage control. They hunt potential superhuman people, and they are losing to children with baseballs.
And their guns can barely knock over school desks.
But
and
didn't
chairs.
Cameron get hit with it, and that's why he couldn't walk this episode? Or
is that why he couldn't walk?
Because remember, he was injured in the hallway?
Had to be hit by some of those 9mm or something.
Well, he got injured in the hallway. Remember that stupid hallway? And that's why they left him? Because
I can't fucking remember. This is filmed so, like... It breaks its own immersion. Like, literally, the agent lady makes a point of saying, these are children. Let's use non-lethal. I just want to know who it is. At the very next battle, Open fire! I'm just going to show you the two scenes right next to each other.
Enhanced rounds?
Non-lethal. I want this kid taken alive. That way we can figure out what the hell he is.
It makes no fucking sense. In fact, I have a conspiracy theory. At the beginning of the episode, it's a trigger warning. This may,
shooting stuff, yeah.
right? So I think maybe that first scene that they injected was a reshoot.
Oh, really?
I think they just put it in there to try to give her character so that people won't be fucking mad at her that she's just like shooting up kids immediately, because she just shows up and just starts shooting kids. So they had to soften her in some way by saying, no, I'm going to use non-lethal. Oh, she's going to use non-lethal. Oh, she must have forgot what she said, but she truly is a nice person.
No,
She's not that villainous because she was, or it doesn't trigger me as hard because they said they weren't going to. I don't know. It makes no sense, because if that's not it, if they didn't put that later there for political correctness over the events that happened, a mass shooting in Texas, where the cops stood around on their fucking phones with their fucking Punisher backgrounds and fucking assholes and fucking pieces of shit, can't fucking do their job. And they put that in there for that, or it's really bad writing that it's like nobody went through the script and said, well, why did you write that she wants to not hurt anybody and use non-lethals and then show up with machine guns at the end and then just start firing? It doesn't make sense.
The stakes of this show went from our world is going to end if the clandestines go home.
Yeah.
Our big boom, right? Kill millions, if not billions of people in our world if someone happens to survive.
Minimize.
I'm going to use a bicycle and a red hood and some baseballs. And did they throw marbles on the floor? Because I'm pretty what the fuck?
Throw marbles on the floor to help our friend who is having explosive diarrhea. His powers are undulating, and we need to have him escape the DDoC.
And he kept trying to kill people, and she's like trying to be like, hey, don't
In fact,
kill people.
does he actually? I think he actually kills people.
He tried to once.
But wait a minute. And again, this is another confused filming. One scene, he uses his power, it breaks the entire fucking building, and she looks at it, and the show makes a point of, oh my God, if he fires that again and it hits this guy's gonna motherfucking die. And then, not 30 seconds later, is he hacking up dudes with the same power and even knocking them from under the car. Look. What the fuck? That motherfucker's dead. That motherfucker's ripped in 15 pieces. Like, what? I don't understand. The powers.
The inconsistency
What?
of
It's
it.
so inconsistent.
But she
You're
has
like,
to let
what
it-
is going on? Is he reducing his powers? Why? When he was just trying to. I don't get it. It's because we have to make Cameron nice so that
It's
she
'cause
can
he
still
found out
have a
his-
love interest. Because if he starts killing people, then they throw that story potential out, and the writer's like, no, we can't have that.
Well,
we
he
need to have
went
the love triangle.
haywire because his mom's dead. He's like, what happened to my mom? She's dead. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
now I'm mad. I'm going to go kill everyone.
That his mom. This is the stupidest.
Except for
shit.
when she said, don't do that. And he's like, you're right.
Yeah.
Because every time anyone is bad in this show, all Kamal has to do is go, hey, don't. And they go, oh, shit. Yeah, my bad. You're right.
And apparently, the mother, in
That's what
one
happened with the
single
mom.
instance, turned from the most evil person. She would kick
Because
her
Kamala
son
told
aside.
her not to.
Because this don't make any sense. She somehow simultaneously sacrifices herself and gives her son all her power simultaneously.
didn't have any powers.
I don't fucking know what happened. None of
Doesn't
it
make
makes
sense.
sense. It's just written in a way where it's like, and then the power from the mother goes into the son.
We're like, wait, she had powers?
Yes, she had powers,
I
Joe.
thought
She was a
just
clandestine.
She just stabbed people. She never,
But why did the powers not manifest in that way with her? And the
Yeah, it didn't really show.
You could have just had her in the beginning of the series do some of that when she does her fighting. But
or he finds a bangle or does something that makes sense that, where
please make sense, because I want to like this, and ultimately I don't, and I didn't, and this was completely dull and boring and pointless and cringy and
she got her suit, though.
disappointing.
She did punch a
So,
hole to
okay,
Pakistan, though.
so
that
even-
was cool.
What?
Do you remember when she punched a hole in the ground and then Cameron goes in the hole in the ground and the next scene he's in Pakistan? Right? She's like,
that-
Super Mario. Boom. and he goes in the
way to
hole,
Pakistan.
and he goes to Pakistan.
But
I
that
don't
was-
think that's how it
No,
works.
hey, they didn't show him going to the harbor.
Didn't it say 1 week later?
yeah.
though?
Yeah, he
Okay.
was falling a long time.
He said
He was
go to the
falling-
harbor.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Do you think the hole in
it's
the ground
hilarious.
goes to the harbor?
So then it was so
Yes.
stupid. Then she gets her elastic power. We got to mention that. Hey, she's actually using her elasticity.
Yes.
But it's glowy elasticity. It's mixed with this new power that the MCU decided to give her with old power. And so you get that. Hey, you like that? And I'm like, man, this looks bad, man. Like the powers, like I do not like them at all. I don't like Cameron's power. Don't like her power. Don't like when she's half stretchy and not half stretchy. And she doesn't embiggen. When she embiggens, she just embiggens her hands and her feet and then like
looks
regular
weird.
size head. She just looks ridiculous and
When their
stupid.
powers, both their
And-
powers are on the
but
screen,
that's always,
it just looks messy.
It's always going to be a problem because it's going to look goofy. I
Yeah.
get it. So I'm not giving it too much shit there. But then they pull this final reveal, which immediately crushes any semblance of Inhumans showing up. That story is out the window because then they decide to fuck with Kamala even more and say that she is the first mutant.
No.
Yes.
No.
She is mutant.
No.
Yes, Alex, because they even do the
No.
jingle.
I know they did.
And I
No.
was like, how dare you use the best cartoon theme song ever? You wasted it.
Kamala, there's something different in your genes, like a mutation.
In this lame, pointless fucking reveal that she's actually a mutant and
No.
what? Why?
No.
Okay, so in because they need to give this show everything, because it needs everything. And now, if you want to know how the MCU will be doing mutants, you gotta watch Miss Marvel. It's the first time it was ever mentioned, right? Right. Okay. Well, that's Kamala battling the most incompetent government
Damage
agency
control.
in DODC. I'm just gonna call it the DDC because this is fucking stupid. And then TikTok goes fucking crazy, and then it's like a happy end.
Whoa.
Whoa, she was so cool. But we'll go through the actual episode in just a second. Let's go to final verdicts.
This was not an enjoyable watch. Did not have fun with this episode. This is like something from Home Alone 20 with the stupid pranks. You just
Broke
it.
the chair on purpose. Well, I was able to do it before where I could take it off.
I think
so
you have to hold it, a little squeeze that thing.
hold the squeeze thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is like Home Alone 20 with that bullshit. These trained professionals couldn't subdue these kids with their the crazy antics.
It was Leia level.
Then you
Running
had the audacity to say you're a mutant.
Yeah, that was funny.
No, this honestly did not feel like a satisfying season finale. This is a 3.
Okay.
Didn't enjoy one bit.
Yeah.
I really
Anybody
enjoyed
else?
my time downstairs playing Magic, so that was fun. I knew
Shut up! You've seen it before. Tell us what you.
this wasn't good, and what's super disappointing about this episode is I don't regret the scores I gave the series at the beginning because I do
Because
believe
it was good at one point.
It was good and it had style, and I was like, man, this actually can work. I'm excited to see where this went, and where it went is somewhere that I don't want to go. I think is absolutely. It's like you assume that your audience are either idiots or really little kids. And I'm so tired of people making content. They're like, we have to make it for the dumbest kids. Kids are smarter than you think, and kids can appreciate good content. We watch think about all the amazing comic content that we appreciated as kids that wasn't exactly made for little kids.
Yeah.
And this just completely and totally failed. We had 2 of the worst Marvel villains ever on screen.
Yeah.
Terrible fights, weird thing. Like Cameron just jumps into a hole in the ground. Where does she has tunneling powers now?
Yeah,
it's just
she
everything
hit the
is-
ground so hard.
It opened a
that
tunnel
she
Pakistan.
created a fucking hole. Did she extend her arm under and then all the
Pakistan.
way to
the harbor?
to Pakistan.
All right, to
That's why it
Pakistan.
took so long.
To Pakistan.
And then, like, now we have 3 fucking love interests because there had to be 3 cute boys. And then there's a Nakia thing where she's like, I'm mad at you. And she's like, well, don't be mad at me. He's like, okay, you're right. I'm not mad at you. Everything is just so immediately resolved. If the dad wasn't in this, because I love her dad.
Yes, I was
going to
say the one moment that was a genuinely good moment when
yeah.
she gets her name.
I
was
love her dad.
I felt emotion.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the only thing about this episode that was any good.
I'm so happy we were the same on that lock.
But it still gets a 3. It's severely below average. It's insanely disappointing. Give me a TV show just about her dad.
Joe, what did you give it? 3. 3. Fuck, man. I dislike this tremendously. I'm between a 2 and a 3. Like this, I was checked out the whole time, and it just kept pushing me out even further. I'm like, damn, y'all fucked this up because I was liking her. And what makes it even worse is now I don't like this series. I think it's one of the worst series, and now I'm going to be lumped in with all the fucking racists and bigots because I don't fucking like this. You know what I mean? It's like just going to assume that I fucking hate it for the same reasons.
Terrible writing.
Weirdos. I know, exactly. But no, Joe, this is the highest rated Marvel series. Now that's unfair because like that I mean it was getting a lot of positive press. Like now reassess. Now go to every single one of those critics and ask them again whether they still agree with that. You know, so because I think that the quality has considerably dropped off. Yeah. So, all right, let's jump into the individual nitty gritty here. So we have the weirdly injected scene. Must have been a reshoot where you said, we're going to use non-lethals. They're kids. I just want to, figure out what the hell's going on with them. That made no sense.
This is what happens when you give these kind of people powers, and everyone's like, oh, shit, is she going to say the thing? The quiet part out loud? And then they go,
she's kind
wait a minute, are you racist? And she's like, no, I mean children.
So that was too much for Disney.
Yeah.
So they had to go and reshoot it. Not only is she a racist, but she's also a child killer and shit now. So they had to go and give him a scene where she said, oh, no, I was just kidding. Let's just use non-lethals. But then they didn't bother, I don't know, CGIing the guns and giving them the blow guns because they're to blow bubbles essentially at this fucking point.
Well, they were blasting holes through the walls and shit, and they're like, we set it to stun. It's like that's not a stun. That blew up all the cinder blocks.
Yeah, but it's filmed so poorly. One moment it can't knock over chairs, it knocks over a few of the chairs, and some of the chairs just rock back and forth. Then the next moment it's blowing a hole in the concrete on the side. It is okay. Anyways, Bruno and Cameron are on a train, and he accidentally knocks out a window with his power. Of course, they're never going to show Cameron actually killing somebody on accident. That would have been like, holy fuck, that's crazy because he can't control his powers. I do like the fact that Bruno's a good guy. And he's just fucking helping, He's just helping him out. He hates this guy. We didn't necessarily hate him, but, he's a good guy. He's just helping him. So, anyways, so then Kamala has a family meeting, tells everybody there that she's a light girl. And they're like, oh, because the father already told everybody. And, it's a funny scene. I love the father so much. The father's worried, just like I would be, It's like if you are, you have a kid and they get superpowers, are you going to be running towards danger? I mean, you are like now a magnet for this kind of stuff. And it's the mother who suddenly is like the most supportive one. When it was the father at the beginning, and the mother is like, you're embarrassing our family for wearing or going to a convention and where it's like, this is the biggest character turn. Whiplash. And she's like always like happy and supportive and super loving of this while not questioning a fucking thing. It makes no sense. From the character she started as to the character now, it is too big of an abrupt turn. And they pound this home by saying the mother made the outfit for her. I would have believed the father made the outfit. Fine. I also believe the mother made an outfit, but make her a little bit more concerned. It's too abrupt of a turn. And now she gets to say, my mother made this suit for me, just like Superman did. And she walks 25 feet in the air in this dumbest effect. Like, I don't like the way she gets around. That's important to me. It's like you're flying a Superman. Or you're swinging like Spider-Man, or you're swinging around like Batman and throwing smoke.
Not this time.
She goes up the stairs.
Kind of walks
She's
around.
a stairmaster.
She even stops at lights. They made a point of making sure she obeys traffic laws, even though she's 25 feet in the air.
Yes. She's not gonna hit anything.
It's just a dumb way to travel. I'm sorry. Damage control goes back to the mosque because we have to show the damage control is racist as well. So they're going in there and they're like, "Where are you hiding them?" Yeah, obviously, you would take them to this one mosque over and over, and everybody has their IDs out already, and they're looking for Cameron. And they actually did take him. He's hiding in the back.
Look,
and-
there's a good scene here. The guy explains that using warm spices in cookies is a great way to set
I
your
was gonna
cookies
say
apart.
the cookie
Nutmeg.
part.
Nutmeg or
Nutmeg.
cinnamon in chocolate chip
It's a
cookies is a great way to
secret-
make yours stand out. This
Yeah.
guy's got good advice. The rest of this part's terrible. But
Yeah.
yeah, try nutmeg in your cookies.
Yeah, and then we have before that we had a Quranic quote. She's like, get out of here with your Quranic quotes, because he was like, something about what the fuck did he say? Oh, I don't need God on my side because I'm on God's side and God's always right, or something like that. And he's like, that's not a Quranic quote. It's Abraham Lincoln. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Searching for Cameron, the boyfriend misdirects. So then her friend misdirects the agents. Don't go in here. It's religious freedoms and just delay tactics. It's just stupid. It's fucking stupid. It's like, I'm your boyfriend now. Like, just stop it.
Did you not laugh? It was supposed to be funny.
No.
It was
Just
very
because
funny.
Anyways, he is there ultimately, and the head of the mosque actually has another good quote. I like this guy. He's got great quotes. And then he says, just because someone treats you as an enemy doesn't give you the right to treat them as yours. Even though I would. If you treat me like an enemy,
Fucking
you're
trying to
my
shoot
fucking
me with a
enemy.
9mm.
Yeah, this is the quickest way to die in these situations. If somebody is treating you as an enemy and shooting you, does not give you the right to treat them as an enemy. So you just walk out and try to embrace them, and then you get shot.
They get a great disguise though, because I mean, they get the haram and halal hats.
Yeah, you could definitely get a disguise because she is a CGI effect jumping around, and it just looks uncanny valley. And I could tell it's not practical, and then they put her in the scene. It's CGI. She's literally a CGI character, and then she comes down, and then they kind of switch scenes, and then she's there, and then Cameron just does a blowing up thing, and then she's like, "Oh fuck, he's out of control."
You gotta get him out of here.
And and so Kamala tells them, just go on ahead. She has no concern for Bruno, because if this guy's exploding at any moment, he could kill Bruno, but she doesn't care, I guess, or doesn't think of that. Honestly, the DDoC probably should put him in something, because
He's constantly trying to
literally
kill
can't
people and a
percent.
danger to himself and everyone
Yeah.
around him. It's like, maybe this guy should be in their custody.
Yeah, because he can't control it. Anyways, and then she tells him to go ahead. So she calls her other boyfriend, the third boyfriend, on the phone, and calls the
It's
Red
unfair.
Daggers for help. And he's like, "All right, get him to the harbor by midnight." So now the episode has a goal. Like finally halfway through, it's just, we find what we need to do. We need to get him to the harbor, and then so they come up with a plan. They go to the school. And the friend is at the school already, and she's like, "Why didn't you tell me that you were Miss Marvel?" This is Alex's favorite part, and she's like,
My bad.
"I apologize."
And
that was
my
it.
bad. Don't be mad. And she's like, "Cool, you right."
Cool.
Because
And then
anytime
we
Kamala
move
talks to
on.
anyone about any sort of conflict, all she has to say is "don't," and they go, "Okay."
Yeah, and then that was it.
The
So-
clandestine head lady, she's like, "You can't do this," and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Nakia, totally fine with it. Changed her mom's mind, changed everyone else's mind, and
Yeah.
at the end, she changes Kamran's mind. He's like, "Cameron, don't kill people," and he's like, "You know what? You're
Yeah,
right."
yeah, cool. She just
All right, bye.
It's like, damn. I mean, this is great because it's like I'm happy everybody's so level headed, but there's no fucking.
She should have been there when
tension.
Thanos is like, "Yo, bro,
Yo, Thanos.
no,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Why
Thanos.
don't you just snap more food
Yeah.
into
The
existence?"
writers would have been
and
like,
he's like,
"Oh, yeah.
"Oh, dude,
That's a
I could
good
snap
idea."
more food into existence." That's a good idea.
And more example of bad writing here. The TikTok girl is just there randomly. Why is she there, Joe?
She's there because the theater has great lighting.
Shut up. Just shut up, Joe. She's not there. She's at school
dare
at
you.
9 p.m. How dare you? I think that was
That's
the
what she
actual
said.
It
reason.
is exactly the reason. Yeah, but just stop it.
Came up with a plan.
It's like you broke into school to film
that's like-
TikToks.
So they come up with a plan to keep him safe from the DDoC. They do the chalkboard, and then we get a little bit of the Miss Marvel stuff, that stylized stuff that they kind of abandoned the last 3-4 episodes. So they kind of do that the chalk and stuff, and we're gonna do mad science
It's a
stuff.
stupid ass
You and
plan.
I'm gonna make
And
elephant
it's a
toothpaste.
dumb fucking
like a
plan.
lot of it. Like a lot of elephant toothpaste.
It's a Disney show. It is a Disney show, but this is a Disney show. Like, I don't know. I haven't watched any of these shows. Some iCarly, or I don't know. I don't even know what happens in those kinds of shows.
How many episodes of iCarly
but
was
this is like that?
Was the Earth threatening to get blown up because of evil genies? We're gonna kill every man, woman, and child.
I don't
Probably
fucking know,
none.
But they have this fun little thing that happens, and they have this like the dumbest shit. And then they have a scene of this one cop. Can't tell if he's a cop or he's also DDoC, just her partner at the DDoC.
He's her boss.
He's her boss, and he says, "You know what? That's a bad press. It's gonna be bad press if we apprehend a bunch of kids in front of a school. Like, keep the guns and all the shit away from the school. We'll get them later." And then Deaver, I guess is her name. Fucking Deaver, Karen, doo-doo head, whatever her name is. Just then she goes to the police, and she she's on the phone with the guy. And then she's like, "I'm gonna do it anyway." So then
Bring in more people.
bring in more. We have a quick scene of the brother talking to Kamran and saying like, "Hey man, what is your intentions with my sister?" And he's like, "Driving lessons."
Well, I trust you because she trusts you, even though
that's it.
you're gonna try to kill people in 2 minutes.
Yeah, even though you can't control it. All right, so then hey, TikTok. We turn on the TikTok stream. And she asked her followers for help, and I couldn't roll my eyes any more than this. I was like, I hate this. Please. Oh, God. Social media. Fucking millennials. No, this is Gen Z. I don't know.
We have
what
just
this is.
learned that people outside of a shooting are not allowed in to help or interfere in any way. So,
Yeah,
like, this is kind of
So they get up. Then one girl gets the fire extinguisher. She can't break it. So that's another funny joke that we all laughed very long and hard at. And then science.
He's dancing with
Phone.
a skeleton.
Oh well, all these guys come in with their blowguns. They're wildly inconsistent on the power guns.
phaser set to stupid.
Phaser
Zap.
set to stupid.
Zap.
They go into the science, and the foam explodes, and it covers them with foam, and they're like, "God damn it!" And then another one rides around on a bike, and they're like, "God damn it!"
And
See,
then they
multiply.
then they
And
have
then one-
baseballs.
everywhere.
And then one shoots at one of the kids who's dressed. They're all dressed up, by the way, as Cameron as the kids. There's multiple. They're multiplying. They got the powers of multiplication. Blah. And then one shoots at a poster on the wall, and the poster just gets lightly blown away. It's like, okay. And then
It's like the wind blew it.
and the kids built the fucking barricade. Okay, we shoot the barricade, and some of the stuff still stays standing. But it's like, all right, Joe, I'm making fun of it too much. Joe, they got a goddamn fucking button on the guns. You just never. Why didn't they just film it? Just put that scene in there. But no. What else? Oh yeah, so they're holding hands. So she's like hiding with Kamran, and they're holding hands, and her power is like in his power, and his power is in her power.
Looks ugly.
No, Joy, it's love.
It's a beautiful moment.
It's a beautiful. I don't know. It's a touching moment. You gotta have some conflict in here because he's gonna go bad, and then she can't love a bad guy. And all right, anyways, but they're about to kiss. Haven't you been waiting for this, Joe? They're gonna kiss, and guess who shows up at the right moment?
Cock block.
It's Bruno. He interrupts. And then he's like, "I'll buy you some time so you can go kiss and make out."
And he's crying while he's saying this.
And he dances.
He's crying on the inside.
And then he does some Bollywood dancing,
guys, you
and
wanna see me
immediately gets punched
dance?
in the face.
Yeah, he gets hit in the like
I don't
hard.
know, yeah. And I'm
He
like,
slammed against
I was
the wall.
like, because these guys are so frustrated from all this kid bullshit that they had to deal with. And that's the one appropriate thing that they
Yeah.
did. Anyways, then they're chasing some other kids down the thing, and the balls get shot because you're on the softball team, right? So then they all shoot balls at him.
They
And it
coulda just
works.
shot
They're
it.
wearing
works.
they're wearing like full riot gear stuff, and
But
it's just
They
like
coulda just
They
shot
just
it.
shot it.
knocked
And they're just like,
things over.
no.
But no, they needed a second team, Joe, to come in behind them, and then it shows that they were immediately arrested.
we
So it's just
flanked
dumb.
the baseballs because we would never have been able to overcome the baseballs.
So then that's when we get the scene where she's like, and they're in the bathroom now. Cameron attacks like one of the dudes, and Kamala defends him, creates a barrier. And if she didn't create that barrier, that dude would have been dead. But then they get cornered again, and he attacks the agents again, with a bunch of lockers and stuff. And And then she's about to kill them while they're on the ground after the lockers fell on him. And again, she interrupts, holds him with her fist. She does her stretchy powers again. And then he escapes. She stops him. He wiggles free or whatever, and he gets out into the front door. So he's out in the front door. He's looking really menacing.
He's real mad.
He's real mad,
that-
but he's just going. That's all it looks like. And so I guess all these racist cops just start fucking.
Fire!
Oh, fire! Non-lethal fire! I mean, lethal fire! So all these 9mm and fucking assault rifles and shit are firing at her. So he blocks a few of them, and then I guess it looks like he can't block anymore. And then Kamala comes in and blocks some more, and. The whole crowd is seeing this, and they're like, "What the
Their
fuck?
parents are screaming, "Come
Why
on!
are you doing this?
Come on!"
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? She's
then-
supposed to be secret.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah,
Nice
no,
catch,
come
Joe.
on, come
Shut
on.
the fuck up!
It's like, Mom, Dad, stop
gonna
it!
be on
I'm a
cameras.
superhero.
It's gonna be on cameras, and then the third villain she fights is gonna.
They call her every name.
they're
They're
gonna
like,
find her.
Beta, Kamala.
I think is a term of endearment, Joe. Anyways, I think Cameron, so she embiggens to help again, and then she does her embiggen thing, and then this is when I swear to God, I think Cameron starts killing them, but it's so unclear because of the way it's filmed. Like at this point, I don't give a shit. I am checked out 100%. And then he accidentally throws, or I don't know, it's just out of control. He throws a car, and it's about to fall on the crowd. Kamala saves the crowd again with her stretchy powers, and they cheer. Yay! This is so great. This is the most awesome fucking fireworks show I've ever seen. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're going to die. People are shooting wildly at children. You don't think they're going to turn around and start shooting you too? Anyways, yeah, he blows up again. He does the blowy thing again.
Yeah, she
Yes.
makes
And
a dome.
all of his green snakes are snaking everywhere and almost poking people in the eye. Put that shit away. And so she embiggens and walks towards him real slow, and then she puts him in a ball, and then she gets to have a moment with him and talk to him, and then she's like. And
Your
then he's
mom
like, "Oh,
loved
I'm gonna
you."
beat them all up, and I'll never be the same." And she's like, "Well, why don't you just not be bad?" And he's like, "Okay, you're right. I won't be bad no more, but I gotta leave or something."
So she punches a hole of Pakistan.
It's like, I'll never be normal. It's like, okay, well, don't be normal.
He's like,
Okay, cool. You're right.
Oh, well, okay, I won't kill these people then. So she convinces him by telling your mother saved you. She gave you all her power. What? Then
Then he escapes.
then she punches a hole to Pakistan, and then he escapes through the hole to Pakistan, and then she lets the bubble go, and the doo-doo head lady was like, "Here, get her!" And but the
crowd
people,
rushes in.
yeah, her dad and mom hold hands and form a
Come on,
circle
over
around
here.
her. And even the police have one scene where they're like they're fucking Spartans or something. And then I swear to God, 2 seconds later, the DDLC is like, okay, just walks right by them.
It's a minor
They don't even. It
inconvenience.
was a minor inconvenience. Everybody who formed a wall around Kamala just lets them walk through, not even pushing or holding, but luckily Kamala didn't need the help at all.
She skips away, and none of the
away.
DDoC have guns or drones, and
Right.
so she gets to walk away in the sky. She doesn't fly anything. She walked away
And
in
then
the sky.
Beavers lady gets to the phone
You're
call.
fired.
And she fires on the
Relieved of your
spot. Get out.
duties."
Get out of here. And then they get the TikTok videos talking about, I'm fucking done with this fake hype bullshit. And then we get the small line. It's like we get to celebrate our own heroes. See, I understand. I like that sentiment, but it's just dumb shit. And it's just, it sucks, man. I wish they would have made it better. And then we get good scenes. So some of them. She smiles in the mirror. She's proud of herself. She's wearing the costume. I've seen people lament online, "Oh, she's only going to get to use this costume for one episode, less than one episode, because she's already in a different costume and behind-the-scenes photos and stuff of other things." So I don't care. The dad comes out on the roof with her. It's a great scene, and he's like, "What do you call it again?" And she's like, "I'm still trying to figure that out." And while they're talking, Cameron is in Pakistan after crawling out of the hole that she created for him, and he meets the Red Daggers dude.
I want to see him like bursting from the earth, just like.
And then he says, "You know why we called you Kamala?" And he's got this great story, and I just love it. It was wonderful. I won't spoil it for you, but so that's how she gets her name. It's a great moment. It's one of the only moments I liked, and then man, it's like they don't know how to end it. There's like 5 endings here, and then she's sitting on a lamplight.
The famous comic book.
The comic thing, and then she gets off it and walks away. Oh, okay, because it was okay. I see. Throwback to the comic, but it's just like film for. It's just like give it something. Anyways, 1 week later, Bruno has Cameron's car because he left it behind, and he's gonna go to Caltech, and they're like, "No, you don't get the car. We should get the car." And he's like, "No, you can't have the car." Anyways, Kamala, I did some research on you. I'm like the smartest man in the world now. I'm Reed Richards, and I figured out that in your blood, you're different from your family because your brother was bothering me. Maybe he has powers. No, he didn't have powers. It's your genes. Your genes are different. Some kind of mutation.
Oh.
And now you made me break my chair, which, by the way, I can't fucking fix it. And I got to buy a fucking new chair. God damn it, Ms. Marvel, son of a bitch. No. And we'll find a way to fix it. But, and then I was like, what? No cameo at the final battle. Like, nobody shows up. Captain America don't show up.
They don't wanna
Carol
show up for that
Danvers don't show
shitty-ass
up.
fight.
They show up for a goddamn fucking carnival cruise, Disney carnival cruise. I saw the, like, scenes. They were like, oh, leaked scene. And of, like, the final. It's like, no, that's some kind of promo. If you go on this Disney cruise, you get to see Kamala with Captain America, Falcon version, and Carol Danvers shows up, and she's not acknowledging that she's meeting Carol Danvers for the first. It's so awkward and it's so weird. It's like you can feel it's like that made for, what do you call it? Commercialism bullshit. It's so weird. But anyways, none of that. And I was like, I was a little surprised by that. However, you just have to, go to the mid-credits. You get a mid-credit scene where she falls on her bed and her mom's like, do your homework. And she's like, all right. She gets up, but the bangle starts vibrating, and then she gets up, and then it's like, what? She gets fucking teleported, or she gets sucked into her closet, which breaks the closet door, and then she swaps places with Carol Danvers.
I wanted to see Kamala
Captain
floating
Marvel.
in space, dead, because just like
Where did
you
she
can't
go?
swap with
She has
Carol
cosmic
Danvers.
powers, Alex. She'll create a
Shitty-ass
limited
mask.
air suit. I don't know.
No.
I have no idea where she went, but she went somewhere. The mangle's glowing. She teleports and swap places. It's Freaky Friday. I was like, wait a minute. Is she like in the body and it's still Kamala?
She can
but
transform now?
it's,
No?
No,
All right.
it's Carol because she goes, oh, no, 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 no. And then she just runs off screen. I was like, this is like
Miss
the
Marvel
worst
will
tie-in.
return in the Marvels.
Yeah, it was like the worst tie-in that I've seen in a while. And so she's tied in now with the MCU's most powerful hero. Did you know that Captain Marvel is MCU's most powerful hero, according to the Disney Plus film description?
Oh.
It says right there because as soon as that episode ended, it put Captain Marvel. Continue watching, and the description on it, MCU's most powerful hero.
That seems wrong. Like very,
Anyways,
very wrong.
so that's it, and so that we gave it a
Disappointing.
rating already of 3 out of 10.
See.
And so going through these again, it's tough because you don't expect something like this to happen. Some of the earlier episodes that I rated a little higher, I probably would rate a little lower now, knowing that it really went absolutely nowhere. So episode 1 was a 7 for me. Episode 2 was a 6. Honestly, it started to mess up almost immediately. Episode 3 was 8. Episode 4, a 6. Episode 5, you've lost me, 3. Episode 6, 3. Unfortunately, I think this is the worst one so far. So let's go final verdicts on season 1 of Miss Marvel.
Season 1 as a whole, I think probably I would say it was average, but then like
Yeah,
considering the last couple of episodes, I completely checked out. So
Yep.
I'm actually between a 4 and a 5. It's
Yep.
actually between Like the last 2 episodes just sucked for me.
Yeah.
Man, it started off strong, but then the writing just got shitty. So I'm gonna have to probably go with the
Tropey.
4.
These bad guys.
Yeah, the bad guys, because like it
Concept.
had a good concept. The whole galaxy was
Yeah.
in peril, danger because of the djinn.
You didn't really feel it at all.
And now it just like resolved super quick. And
the
it's super
special
let down.
effects too were just not fun to look at.
Super let down.
Like the thing that puts the whole Earth in danger is like it's like a glowy orb with a dumb effect, and then her mom kills herself in it.
Yeah, and
Or his
again
mom
with
kills
the
her.
character developments with each Cameron, Bruno.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like an arc or anything. It's just like, okay, well, this is what we need done. With just more convenience factors.
It was going in that direction, and
But
then
then
they
it
just
just-
took a huge detour.
did.
And then they rushed to wrap it up. I'm like, oh, all right, sorry.
No, yeah. So 4.
So, 4? Okay.
Yeah, I also think that the ending, the way that the series ended, will permanently change the way I feel about the series as a whole. You start watching this thing and you're like, hey, this thing starts off with amazing style. It disappears. I mean, seriously, like the first stuff where they're doing really cool things with the signs and all that just disappears in the show. They could have kept it up. They could have introduced other things where you get to see Miss Marvel geeking out over heroes. That also went completely away. Instead, we've got 3 separate love interests. We get setting changes. We get lines that kind of get either conveniently resolved or not resolved at all. And I think that the last 2 episodes have brought down the series, because if I try to like figure out like what the average is, it's probably like a 5. Except for the last 2 episodes will have that shit stain across the entire season now that I think it's below average.
Yeah.
I would not watch this again. This is lumped in with Hawkeye, which I just don't think you should watch.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I agree with you. Like, this is the first one that I literally did not want to watch. I did not want to finish. I'm like, fuck, we're already 5 episodes in. Let's just finish this off. So, below average. I could see it being average, 5 out of 10. Maybe if you are the very specific niche, and that it's your target market. And I know maybe the problem is we're not the market for it. We're not who needed to watch it or who they're directing it as. But even those kinds of shows, like I can, when I watch a good one, I can recognize a good one. And unfortunately, this one isn't it. So I'm at a 4 out of 10. I think this is the worst of the Marvel shows on Disney Plus. I'm really not excited. It doesn't build any hype for Captain Marvel 2, which I think are called The Marvels. It doesn't build any hype for season 2, other than, God, I hope they correct this massive, distraction and mistake and give her something interesting that I would have liked to have seen. So, yeah, very down on the Miss Marvel character. And it sucks because now, it's like, fuck. It's probably going to be lumped in with everybody else just because it's so weird. It's like you said.
Tens or zeros.
You have. Go ahead, explain it. You explain it.
You have
perfectly.
toxic. You have people that are
Toxic.
like toxic negativity that they want to hate something to either jump on a bandwagon or because they hate it for religious reasons. They hate it because they don't like the cultural thing.
Bigotry.
And then you have the people who are trying to counteract those people
Yeah.
you read the comments. This is the best thing I've ever watched. It's like you need to watch
Bro,
more TV.
shut
You
the
need to read
fuck
more.
up.
Like this is not the best writing. This is not a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad that if some people are truly liking it, you really believe that this is peak legendary television. Watch something else because this ain't it.
It's not. Yeah. So you have all
Ain't
this
it, Chief?
far, and it just sucks that we have to agree that it's not a great. See, you agree with me, and so now I'm right. It's like, nah, man, you fucking were hating on it before it even fucking began.
Yeah.
Like we were downvoted to level 60%. You know what I mean? Before you even watched a single frame. Yes, ultimately you were correct, but I mean it's not for the
It's the
fucking
same
reasons.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it just sucks. Anyways, that's it for Miss Marvel, and I'm not really sure what the next Marvel series is. Do we know?
Loki 2 is being filmed right now.
We know Loki 2 is being filmed. Fuck. What's the next Marvel series?
She-Hulk comes out in a month.
Yes, that's what it is. Thank you. She-Hulk in
You
August.
had to remind him.
Yeah.
Oh, we were forced to watch this
I'm
shit.
more excited to play AJ's Table Time, where we get to play Marvel Crisis Protocol. I just got a painted She-Hulk miniature, which looks cool. Anyways, guys, that's it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to support our Disney Plus and Marvel show reviews, please consider joining our Patreon. It forms the backbone of the mobile infantry and keeps us going. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.